All right, government is all set to table one nation, one election bill in Lok Sabha. Let's get you the latest. The move towards one nation, one election is gaining momentum, viewers. A bill to amend the electoral laws to pave the way for simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies is set to be introduced in the Lok Sabha today. The Constitution Bill 2024, 129th Amendment, to popularly known as One Nation, One Election Bill, is expected to be introduced by Union Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal around noon. It could then be referred to a joint parliamentary committee. Even if the bill gets passed by Parliament without amendments, the earliest that simultaneous polls can take place in the country would be in 2034. Let's in fact break this down for you. This proposal isn't new, viewers. It was the norm in India until 1967, when early dissolutions of assemblies disrupted by the synchronized schedule. Now, the idea is being revived, with the government going ahead with the plan after a high-level committee led by former President Ramnath Kovind laid the groundwork. But what exactly does this proposal include? It envisions simultaneous polls for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies, with local body elections to follow within 100 days. Now, to achieve this, new constitutional provisions such as Article 82A are being proposed to align the terms of all legislatures. Now, this plan seeks to bring coherence to India's electoral cycle and reduce disruptions to governance. However, implementing this plan is no small feat. Logistical hurdles around, from mobilizing election staff to upgrading infrastructure like electronic voting machines. There's also the risk of overshadowing local and state-specific issues with national narratives, potentially weakening India's federal structure. Critics fear that this could centralize power and marginalize regional voices. And well, what about the legal and constitutional implications? Significant constitutional amendments would be required, including the introduction of Article 82A to synchronize terms. However, midterm elections would still be possible, complicating the goal of simultaneity. Now, a single electoral roll for all levels of elections has also been proposed, placing immense responsibility on the Election Commission. Finally, let's now take a look at the political divide. While 32 NDA-aligned parties have endorsed the proposal, calling it a step towards streamlining governance, 15 opposition parties vehemently oppose it, arguing it threatens federalism and democracy. Critics also point to the exclusion of regional and linguistic diversity in the public feedback process, further questioning the proposal's inclusivity. In fact, let's quickly go across to my colleague Brijesh Pandey, who joins us live from Newsroom on more on this. Brijesh, a very good morning to you. You know, with the government set to table the One Nation, One Election bill in the Lok Sabha and several political parties opposing it, let me ask you this, and given your vast area in the political arena, how realistic do you think it is for the concept to actually be implemented, especially considering the current political climate?
Well, Neha, number-wise, the government is not facing a huge challenge. I think, what the government has also realized, because it has been something which the Prime Minister has been saying and advocating for even before he became the Prime Minister from 2013 onwards. And the mindset behind one nation, one election is that, with the simultaneous elections being held, this is as per what the BJP thinks, is that, simultaneous elections are held across the year, and whenever elections are announced in a particular state or, for area, what happens is that, the model code of conduct kicks in, and for a period of almost a month, no developmental work, no new work, the administration comes to a standstill, and there is also the cost factor which is involved there. So, as per the Prime Minister, to beat all of this and to make sure that that at one time all election takes place, whether it is a Lok Sabha election or assembly elections or lower elections, all of that elections can take place at a one time, and it can be conducted at one go, so that all the model code of conducts are there for a particular period, and you will sail through a situation. But it is easier said than done, and this is the reason why what I have been given to understand is that the bill is likely to be tabled at 12 noon, and what will happen is that it is likely to be sent to a joint parliamentary committee where more suggestions can come forward, and a wider consultative process is being taken. Number is not the big concern of the Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP-led NDA government. I think they would want a larger consultation to go into this thing, so that when it gets passed, then there is no further dispute about it as per the law. What the opposition is saying is that what the BJP, the real reason why the BJP is doing it, as per the Congress and other opposition party, is because they want to ride on the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And if you are holding a Lok Sabha and a Vidhan Sabha election, chances are that the national sentiments can also dovetail into the local sentiment, thereby helping the BJP in states where BJP doesn't stand or BJP doesn't score big. So this is their one apprehension. The second apprehension they are saying is that what will happen if suppose tomorrow a government is sworn in a particular state and the government falls in the next 6 months, then the chance is that what the ONOE suggests is that you hold the election, and then that once the election results are out, the remainder of the duration will be of the truncated period. It won't be 5 years, but it will be 5 years minus the period the government is already there. So what the opposition party is saying, that there is no need for it. This system has been there for a very long time, and it is an effective system which is not damaging the democracy in any which way, and there is no reason why the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing it. So this is for and against as far as one nation, one election is concerned. Neha?
Right, Brijesh, and also, simultaneous elections come with their own set of challenges. You also pointed quite a few. Do you think the government has done enough to address these issues in their proposal?
Well, we have to also understand that this is not, even if it get passed, get converted into bill, it is not going to be implemented in the next election cycle. I think it will take time. I think from 2034 is where the government is thinking of implementing it. Of course, it comes with a huge set of challenges, to make sure that you have a security which is apparatus which is across the country. And the Congress party says that when you say that that the country is ready to hold one nation, one election. What happened in Haryana election? When the dates for Maharashtra was not announced, and it was only Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir, because the government said that they are hard pressed to deploy securities. They said, like, when you can't hold election in 3 states, how are you saying that you can hold election across the length and the breadth of the country? So I think there are various challenges that will be there, and the government also realizes it, and that is the reason why what we have been given to understand is that the bill is likely to go to the joint parliamentary committee, which will be consisting of subject experts and have representation of member of parliaments from other political parties, and they are going to discuss all these issues in threadbare. What do they think of the truncated the duration of the assembly in case if the government of the day falls? What are the security measures that are going to be done? How big a paraphernalia is required to make sure that there is a smooth transition from holding elections at various levels, and to make sure that it gets done at one level. So I think in JPC all those issues will be thrashed out. The opposition parties will also give their own suggestions, and that is how the government intends to take it. Once a wider consultative process takes place, only then they intend to get back to the Lok Sabha for passage of the bill. Yeah.
Much, Brijesh, for joining us with all of those important insights. Let's now quickly hear Mr. Jairam Ramesh, senior Congress leader, who's reacted to this. Let's quickly take a listen.
विधेयक का कड़ा विरोध करते हैं। 17 जनवरी 2024 को कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी ने रामनाथ कोविंद जी की समिति जो थी, रामनाथ कोविंद जी उसके अध्यक्ष थे, उनको 4 पन्ने का एक खत लिखा कि कांग्रेस पार्टी क्या कारण हम इस विधेयक का विरोध कर रहे हैं। हम वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन का विधेयक को संविधान के खिलाफ मांगते हैं। वो संविधान की मूल ढांचा जो है, बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर जो है, उसके खिलाफ है। लोकतंत्र को हटाने के लिए, लोकतंत्र को चुप करने के लिए ये चलाया जा रहा है। ये एक तंत्र का तोप है, एक तंत्र का तोप का एक हथियार है, वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन। और मैं कह दूं, ये वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन विधेयक एक जुगल है संविधान बदलने का।